Hello viewers, welcome to another Friday on our episodes on Wapadela live show. Viewers, this is an inclusive program that you always know, and to stand in behalf of Brian, our usual presenter, I am the presenter for today, Blessing Sokauta. We're so glad to have you here and hope that together we can actually bring up this interesting topic to life with your participation and your commenting on this show. Viewers, note that this program is an inclusive one. We are all able to participate by bringing your comments on the number 0974 758855. And note that this program is an inclusive program that focuses on the triumph and challenges that persons with disabilities face, and also to see on how we can bridge the communication gaps between the blind, the deaf, and the hearing, and that caters all persons with disabilities, the aged, and everyone vulnerable in our community as we try to create an environment that is conducive for all. Today we have an interesting topic of discussion, which is deaf-blind. We've been discussing about deaf. Remember, this is a show that talks much and it brings an awareness on persons with disabilities. So today we have another type of disability that we are going to talk about, which is deaf-blind. Deaf at the same time blind. That's what it means. I hope I'm correct there. Yeah. So now to be joined in the studio with Madam Helen Shakel, who is going to help us to discuss much on this show. You are most welcome, Madam.
Thank you, Blessings. And I must say I'm really humbled and I'm happy and honored to participate in this program. To start with, I'm Helen Shakele, and I'm a proud mom of a child that was born with congenital deaf blindness. And I am an advocate for deaf-blind individuals in Zambia and the world at large. Yeah. So I work with children with deaf blindness and also adults as well with deaf blindness. So I'm here to talk about deaf blindness because it's a very unique disability and very few people understand deaf blindness, and like others don't even understand about this unique disability. So I'm here just to share about my life experience and also raising a child with deaf blindness.
Now, so interesting work, guys. Okay, that's so nice. Okay, viewers, as you see, this is so interesting as we have a proud mom with a child with disabilities. So we are so anticipating to hear more and much on how the journey of her being the parent with a child with a disability. Now, understanding, I know your child very well for quite some years now. Yeah, I would want to find out like the background of your child, Lulu. Yeah,
okay.
We want to know more.
Yeah, so Lulu, we call her Lulu, but it's a shortcut. Yeah. Her full name is Luyando, which means love, and then we just shorten it by calling her Lulu. So she's commonly known as Lulu, but her full name is Luyando. So Lulu was born with congenital deaf blindness, and this happened at birth. So she was born with it, and congenital deaf blindness normally comes at birth. It's present at birth. Yeah. So right now she's 16 plus. She's a big girl.
She's grown now.
Yeah, and then when she was diagnosed with this deaf blindness, of course, it came with a lot of questions and with immediate answers. But I'm glad that she has been a strong girl from the time that she was born.
Okay, so like, yeah, so just that one. So how has been her journey as a child with deaf blind? Because I always try to think of the struggle which is there for the blind people with visual impairment, blindness. you know, they struggle to find the location and so forth. And also the deaf, people with the deaf, they struggle to get information. Now that we put it into one person, how has been her journey like?
Yeah, in short, I would say it has been a very challenging journey. It has been really a challenging journey in that we've had challenges in communication, accessing information, and also mobility, especially when she was young. It's, children with deaf blindness face a lot of challenges when they are learning mobility, just to find their way from point A to B. So that's one of the challenges. And then also communication is one of the most challenging thing for
so how have been,
individuals with deaf blindness, because the time that she was born, I was so blank about raising a child with both loss of sight and hearing.
Okay.
So it has really been challenging, but I thank God that with time, I learned some communication skills for individuals with deaf blindness. Okay. So, yeah, it has been a challenging journey. Yeah. It has been very challenging. To just know, maybe an example that I would give, when she was young, it was like, you know, difficult to know, especially like if she wants food, the type of food, and also when it comes to sicknesses, to know what kind of pain she's experiencing, to know if it's headache or if it's the stomach. Such things were very challenging. And also when it comes to toileting, a lot of challenges actually. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's quite challenging.
It's quite challenging. It's never easy. It's quite a tough journey, and it needs a mother that is strong and a mother that has a heart and with patience and with love.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at in the community where we come from. You know, there have been these beliefs like, oh, when somebody has got a child with disabilities, this has been happening. That we've been getting. So now here is a child. We are discussing about deaf blindness. How has been the society's view like? Have you been hearing of like, oh,
yeah, you know, when it comes to society, there's still some stigma. Yeah, there's still some stigma, and you know, in communities, these parents of children with disabilities face a lot of stigma because people have got different perceptions about disability. And then if you look at deaf blindness, it's very unique. So people, you know, would say weird things, different things, but I think in my case, I remember when Lulu was young, I faced stigma in my community, but then I had to shut my ears, and then I had to focus on Lulu's growth and also making sure that she grows up as a happy child. So mostly in these communities, you find that there's a negative attitude from the society, and you know, people still assume that deafblind individuals cannot communicate, they cannot do anything in society. Yeah, but like for me as a mother and as an advocate and as a person with massive experience raising a child with deaf blindness, I educate people and then I tell stories about my child, so that to kill that stigma, I try to make sure that I make people understand what it is to be deafblind or what it is to have a child that has deaf blindness. So I try to educate, I try to advocate, I speak on TV, just like I am speaking right now. I talk on radio, I share my experiences in workshops, in conferences. So that slowly makes people understand. And like in the community that I live, I have tried to make them understand that Lulu was born in that way and nothing can change that. She's still a child like any other children. And we've tried by all means to expose Lulu to the society and also to the community, to the the people around, and just for them to know that yes, she was born like this, and she has to be treated with respect. She has to be treated just like any other child.
Yeah, so
and I try to make them understand, to say, because this child has this unique disability. So there are people that ask me to say, so now because Lulu cannot hear, she cannot speak, and she cannot see, so how do you communicate with them, or how can we communicate with him, with her? Because there are people that would really want to communicate, but you know it's hard. So I try to explain to them, to say there are a lot of different communication skills that you can use for a child that was born with deaf blindness. But like in a case of Lulu, Lulu is a child that has never seen the world before. She's never heard of anything. So what she knows is she lives in a dark and silent world. So for her, the most important communication is touch.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Touch is what makes her understand her world, and to know things around, to know people, to know just everything around. She uses touch. So, of course, there are other different types of communication, but like for me and her, mostly we depend on touch, and we use hand over hand, where one hand is speaking and the other hand is listening. Like maybe her hands can be speaking to me, and then I'll be listening. So there's one hand which is speaking, and there's another one on top which is listening. So like maybe a child, I'll give an example. If a child with deaf blindness, they want to explore maybe like a phone. I'm with Lulu, and then she wants to explore the phone. I'll use my hand to give it to her, and then we'll be exploring the phone together. So we call that hand over hand type of communication. And then also like for me and Lulu, we've used what we call object of reference, where you use objects to refer to a certain activity. Like it can be drinking, it can be maybe eating, dressing, bathing, any type of activity. So in that, we use objects that will refer to that thing. So like, for example, if Lulu wants to eat rice, or if she wants to drink something, she's going to get a cup, which is an object, and then she'll place it on the table. And that becomes an object of reference for drinking. Yes. So we've been using objects. We see, like for me, I pay so much attention when she's touching objects, when whatever she touches, because that's the most important signal for our communication, and then we would know that at this particular time she really wants to drink this, or she wants to eat this. And then also we use, she depends on smell, and on smell, Smell also helps her to identify certain things in the environment, like maybe food. Even just as ordinary people, we use smell to identify food. It's just like you're walking and then you bypass Hungry Lion, or before you even bypass Hungry Lion, but just the scent, the smell will take you to the direction where Hungry Lion is. So Lulu also uses the smell to help her maybe enjoy the food if it is nice. If it has a nice smell, she'll enjoy it. And then also she depends on vocalization, where she produces different types of vocals. And those vocals also comes with gestures.
And you know all those?
And I know, I've mastered those gestures. Because I've lived with Lulu from birth, so I know each and every vocal that she produces, what it means. And those vocals also help me as a mom to connect communication to what she wants. So there are times that she'll produce a vocal, a vocalization that will come with an expression on the face. Like, for example, I would give maybe a smile, maybe smiling. Yes, she'll be smiling, and she'll give some expressions on the face. So that helps us to understand that she's okay. She's comfortable in wherever she is, depending on the vocals. And then if it's something that to do with fear or to do with a surprise, I know all those vocals. Like, I would give an example. There was a time when she was in her room, she was playing, and then she stepped on a mattress foam, a bitter foam.
Yeah.
Yes, so Lulu from birth, she doesn't like something that feels like, things that are soft and things that pops like a balloon.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So as she was playing, she stepped on. Actually, it was a puff. They were the ones we use for powdering the face, and So she stepped on it, and then I was in my room. Then she
screamed.
She screamed. Ah! So when I rushed there to see why she was screaming, I found her. She was like, she was stiff, and like she stepped on something. So I started, before I touched her, I started like, checking in the room to see what has made her scream like that. So I was also like, I was worried, and I had some fears, like maybe something has bitten her. And so, but I tried to check around the room, under the bed, and there was nothing. And then the only thing that I could see was just like, a foam. So what I did, I got the foam, and then I tried to put it in her hands. Then she screamed again. So the scream was the same as she screamed at first. So that now gave me connection to communication to say, okay, this is the thing that is making you
So on that one, Helen, we'll talk about. Okay, it's so interesting to hear of how it has been and how well you've now gotten used to her and also to understand. Let's talk about her education, like background, like
her education. So currently, I would say I'm happy there's even a unit for children with deaf blindness. But like, if I go back to the time when Lulu was born, there was nothing in Zambia to do with deaf-blind schools. And like I also, myself as a mom, I didn't have any knowledge to do with deaf-blindness. So what made me, Lulu inspired me in a lot of ways. When Lulu was born, I was an ordinary teacher, teaching at the mainstream school. So when I saw her condition, when I saw that she was born with that condition, I took advantage of her condition, and then I thought of doing special education.
So you did that after?
I did that after Lulu was born. Yeah, I was inspired by both loss of sight and loss of hearing. So I said, for me to communicate with Lulu and for me to understand Lulu, I'm already a teacher, so I just had to upgrade to special education. So I did special education, and that helped me to really understand her condition.
So what grade?
So what? Before I come to that, that gave me a feeling, an interest, and passion to work with deaf children. So while I was upgrading, I decided to transfer from an ordinary school to a special school. So I transferred to Faith Baptist School for the deaf. That was the first school that I taught deaf children. And from there, that's where Lulu also started school from. But that time she was young. She was, I think, 4 or 5. But being a teacher of deaf children, and then I saw how interesting it was just signing with deaf children and all that. So I thought that Lulu also can maybe be part of that. And then I had a friend that came from Finland. Is the one that told me to say, you cannot wait for Zambia to have deaf-blind schools. You can either take Lulu to a blind school or a deaf school. But like for him, he recommended me to take Lulu to a deaf school because of sign language and because of the interaction. They are already deaf, and interaction was going to be okay with Lulu. So he's the one that told me it's better we take her to a deaf school. So that's where she started school from. Faith Baptist School. Yes. And mostly when she was in school, we looked at her having more of social interactions with the friends. We never looked at her being in grade 1, 2, 3, 4. Our main focus was her to learn how to communicate and also just to socialize with the the children around to avoid being in isolation, because most children with deaf blindness are isolated because of communication and because of not participating anything in society with other children. So we were trying to fight for that. Lulu to have so many of her social interactions around and improving our communication skills.
Wow.
Yeah. So she spent time at Faith Baptist until the time of COVID. That's when I started having challenges. And also, a lot of challenges came in. Then the most challenging one was when I shifted from Matero going to 6 Miles. That's where the challenges began, because it became very far. It became very far, and transport issues. And, a deaf-blind child is not like an ordinary child where you would, when they want to pee, an ordinary child would tell you, Mommy, I want to pee, this, that. But then when you look at a deaf-blind child, there were a lot of things that I started encountering that even like gave me a drawback, and that made Lulu to drop out of school. Yeah.
That's so sad. So you mentioned of someone from Finland. So I wanted to find out, and I know I don't know if you're not married, but I knew you as a single mother, so to say, by then.
By then, yes.
Yeah.
I was married.
So now I wanted to know if you're raising the child, you have some others supporting you to raise Lulu and to bring awareness about this type of disabilities. Do you have some?
I have, support comes in it comes in different ways. I know when you talk of support, or when we, even as parents, when we talk of support, the first thing people think support is financial. Yeah, but like for me, what I know is, of course we need finances, yes. Financial support is one of the things that we need, but support comes in different forms. So like for me, I've had great support from my friends abroad and locally. And then I've had the emotional support from my friends. I have physical support from my friends. Yeah, and a little bit of financial support from my other friends that have known me way back, and even the friends that I've met now. Yeah, so I have received support in terms of communication. Like there have been people that have helped me to understand, like the same person, my friend from Finland, helped me to understand more on tactile communication. By then I didn't know it, so that was great support for me. And even other friends that I've met on the way that made me to like go further in studies, applying for a scholarship and getting more knowledge in deaf blindness. All that support, I think I appreciate it. I have that support. And then apart from that, I've been working with Berlin Special Needs Project, because that's where the project is for children with deaf blindness. So I've spent most of the time working with Berlin. So in that project, that's where we've done a lot of awareness on deaf blindness. Yes. So we've done a lot of awareness on deaf blindness. We've been to all the 10 provinces of Zambia to advocate and to do child find. And we've found these children in different provinces. Wow. It's common. Unfortunately, it's just something that is not talked about, and it's something that people still don't understand. The thing is, people think when you say deaf blindness or when you say deaf blind, if someone has not taken time to find out what is deaf blind, they'll think you're talking about deaf people and blind people. And especially if you say deaf and blind. Already someone will just think, oh, this person is talking about deaf people and blind people, of which people know. People know the challenges that blind people face, and deaf people face, but people don't know about the deaf-blind
So
children.
Wakchika's on there.
So maybe we can try to simplify it for the viewers so that they know what is this deaf-blind.
Yes.
Yes, what is the deaf-blindness? So it's this deaf-blindness is a unique disability. So it's a combination of loss of sight and loss of hearing, where someone is having challenges in both hearing and seeing. So this makes it very difficult for a person or an individual with deaf-blindness to have access to information, to have access to communication, and just to have access to mobility and orientation.
Wow.
So that's how unique this disability is. Because an individual, though I think I'll talk about it, it is unique in a way that these individuals who are born, especially with congenital deaf blindness, these that cannot speak completely and they cannot hear anything and they cannot see anything, they are the ones that are on the challenging side. Of course, it comes in different categories. It's not all the deaf-blind people who are totally deaf or totally deaf. There are deaf-blind individuals who can speak and they can see, but they still have challenges with maybe vision. Yes, there are those that have little sight and little hearing. And there's another category that have maybe little hearing, but with no complete, so it comes in categories.
So on this one, we've been talking about Lulu, and viewers were going to have Lulu on the show. Unfortunately, we could not because of some other arrangements that we could not put in place. But still, we would want you to know who really Lulu is. We have a short clip for you that is going to tell us or to help you understand the person that we are talking about. Let's have a look at this video of Lulu.
Okay. Wow. This is home environment for Lulu, and she has mastered this environment. So I'll try to just analyze a little bit about this video. As you can see, she's walking barefoot and she's spreading her hands. Yes. So on the window there was a stone.
Okay.
You've seen there's a little stone.
Yes, that's right.
I hope she'll be able to pick it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and within the environment, there are children running around. So she gets the information through her feet, vibration movements, to know that, oh, there are kids around or there are people around moving about. Yes. And so she knows this environment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's very independent. Like at home, she's very independent. She can go around the house. She can go behind and come back. Yeah. So spreading her hands like this helps her to know where she is or to feel an object in front of her. Yeah, so this really helps her.
And I remember last time I visited your place, where she was able to move from the bedroom.
She's able to move.
She knows. Went back to her bed.
We've oriented her, so she knows. She knows point A, B, C, D. Wow. She knows how to move, and she knows where to touch.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so quite interesting, and we look forward to have Lulu on the show next time, so that at least we are able to see her in the studio and live, like physically in here, and also viewers out there. If you are not that this program is actually for everyone, and anyone will be able to come and participate and bring in your contribution. Just like the scrolling, this show is available for sponsorship as we bring to you more and interesting topics about different issues that we know and some that we are trying to find out as we are doing the research on our inclusive and enabling the environment that will be accessible for everyone. So today we've been talking about Lulu, who is a child with deaf blindness, and in the studio we had we have a mother, Helen Shakela, somebody who is so proud kunkala na mwana of that kind of disability, and vetifuna wherever you are, anywhere ngati muliko na mwana alina disability, you don't have to hide the child. We have Helen here who has been so and has become the advocate on the type of disability that we have. On my own, kuliko na this kind of disability until I met you and Lulu. You told me. So if we can be having you parents with such disability children, don't lock them inside. Bring them up so that we can let the community know. And in fact, by doing that, it will help you relieve the stress that you have. I'm sure, do you have any stress now? Like, the stigma, that low stigma that you used to have?
No, I think I would say no for now. Maybe, some time back, when she was really, really young, before I could, I would say before I could accept her condition, because, it has stages. When you have a child with a disability, you go through, there are those stages that we go through as parents. So until you reach the acceptance stage is when you stop feeling about the stigma thing and what. But if you have not accepted the condition of the child and then you are still in the denial stage, in the blame stage, that is where you feel like you pay attention to stigma, somebody says something, you get upset, and that is when you're in those stages. But for me, I think I thank God that I accepted Lulu's condition when she was pretty young. While she was just very young, I had to understand and accept her condition.
Wow.
The thing that I did was to, firstly, to understand what really caused her to be born like that. Yes. And I never blamed anyone to say, or maybe they bewitched me, or okay, of course, when I was in the blame stage, there were times I would sit down and think maybe my ancestors did something. Maybe there were those times that I could think about those things. But then when I reached the acceptance stage, it really helped me to understand. And I started asking questions, especially at that time that I was taking her for hospital reviews and all that. I would ask the doctors to say, but how does this come about? What causes this and all that? So in my case, though I didn't talk about it, but I would love to talk about, because these are stories that I love sharing and I just feel good talking about it. So deaf blindness is caused in so many ways, but I will talk about my case. In my case, Lulu was born that way because I had German measles in pregnancy. Yes. Okay. So German measles is sometimes known as rubella. Yes. So I had this rubella in pregnancy, and it's the one that affected Lulu, and then as a result, she was born with that condition. But there are many other causes, age-related problems when people are growing old, accidents, and sometimes also genetical.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okchkas would have continued more on this show.
No, we can still tell the viewers that we'll have another time to continue this story.
Yes, so would like to continue this story with
so that we don't take this, that.
Yes.
Maybe we can promise the viewers to say, since today we've talked about it and we started late.
Yeah.
Where I will end from, I would love to share more on how the journey...
Yeah, and since we are looking forward to have Lulu in the studio, so we have more. We want to know more about, this is a unique disability that we have. So we need much people to know about it. I'm sure someone out there are those parents who have. So now, what, in conclusion, your words of remarks, kuri ma parents, balina bana, balina disability but bafuna kuti to disclose their children's disabilities. What could be your word of conclusion? Just a few
Okay.
seconds. Yeah.
I think I would want to tell them that they are not alone. Parents that are raising children with disabilities, I want to tell you that you're not alone. And what I would encourage you is to love the child most. Like for me, I've put Lulu to be my number one priority. I love Lulu so much, and like everything that I'm doing, I think of her when I'm walking, when I'm outside the country, when I'm away from home. She's like always on my mind. So let's not pay attention to the negative attitude that the society gives us, because I know it's one of the things that drains us, parents, is the negative society and then the negative attitude that we get from society.
Yeah.
And that's why you find that parents who hide their children, it's not everyone that want to hide their children in their homes. It's because of the negative attitude that we get from the society. But then I would just want to tell the parents that they should not pay attention to the negative attitude that comes from the society. What we need to do is to do the best for our children in terms of education, in terms of healthcare, in terms of social interactions, because those are the things that our children need. Yeah.
Wow.
And also just like to, nowadays, you know, we have internet, we have a lot of things. You can read books on disability to understand it, and you can read just good things. And also we get inspired by pages from other parents who have children with disabilities, maybe what they are doing and all that. And that's why even me as a parent, I decided to create one link on a page on Facebook just to talk about it and to educate people. So parents, those are the things that we need to do, and we need not to fight with people who are telling us bad ways about our children. All we need is to focus on our children and ourselves and making ourselves happy, smile. Like for me, I think there's never been a day that I've been a sad person. I'm always smiling. I always put a smile on my face, whether it's hard or...
No, thank you so much, Okuchikazi. Like we have discussed more viewers. It has been so quite interesting to have in the show Helen Shakela, the mother of a deaf-blind Luyando. It's so interesting, and all we need next, we'll put this one on to be continued. So we look forward to some more days to come so that we can have Lulu and have more discussion, not just about Lulu, but other persons with disabilities as children, so that they can be identified and identify their careers. Remember, they too have their fundamental rights that should be enjoyed. Viewers, it's been so interesting. Note that this program is available for sponsorship. You can call us on the number 097475 8855 0974758855. It's the number that you can call for more details. And now we come to the end of the conclusion. I've been your presenter, the host for today's episode, being assisted by Peter Zimba on the sign language interpretation side. So together, on behalf of the whole entire production crew, we say bye-bye. See you next week as we will talk about other program. Bye-bye.